What's going on, you guys? It's your girl Jelly, as told by Inez on IG. Um, I have a lot of names on all these platforms I'm on. But I just came to you guys real quick. I actually was not going to come on here, but I am actively trying to be obedient to God. And so when He tells me to come on here and say stuff or, speak about things that I have no idea He wants me to talk about, I'm just going to be obedient and do what I'm told, even though I have a lot of other things to be doing, but that's not besides the point. Anyway, hi you guys. Today I want to talk about not letting your brokenness hinder you. And again, when I talk about anything, you guys, I always use my life as a blueprint. So when I talk, I'm talking from Jelly's life. I'm never talking about anybody I am not talking about anybody in Pacific, like a Pacific Ocean. I'm just joking. Specifically, I'm not talking about anybody specifically. Again, if something resonates with you, that maybe just God, bringing something to light that you may feel. But to be honest with you, I honestly, I highly doubt I'll talk about anybody any particular. But I have to just get it out the way just to say stuff because, again, when you're prophetic, things can happen where you feel like I'm talking about myself. I always talk about myself, but I talk about myself in third person. And to not sound crazy, I won't say my name. I won't say Angelica does this. Angelica, that don't sound right. Whatever. Anyway, back to the point, you guys. Yes, not letting your brokenness hinder you. For the longest, I allowed my brokenness or things that I felt like was broken about me to hinder me and not kind of propel you forward. Because if you look in the Bible, God uses everybody that was broken. I think that's one of the main ingredients to be used by God is being broken, because God is a author and a finisher. He's a craftsman. Like, he loves, I wouldn't say fixer-uppers, but he loves projects. He loves to say, see, look what I did. Look where they came from. Like, I'm starting to realize God likes it where it's like you can't say, because how people are and because all these other idolatrous things that people like to go after, God has to draw a sand in the line where it's like, at this point, it's undeniable that it's God. And just my story alone, like I don't think I ever told my testimony from start to finish, because it's just so, do that all day here. And God has been prompting me to write a book, so I think I may do that. But again, I just had time. But I am. That's one of the things I'm going to really, really go do, because I really feel like, because although people see me and they see me Angelica, they see me laughing, they see me this, a lot of people see me as I am now. They don't see me who I was back in the day, even before then. Because people, again, they see me where I was in high school or who I was in middle school. And it's like, even then, you don't know why I was that way or different things. And so, and again, I didn't even know why I was acting like that, or just, it just differs perspectives, I always say. So yeah, and again, the devil trying to distract me. Like this lady, all right, y'all, let me do the power. This lady on my job, same lady that's been bothering me, that's been getting on my nerves, she's going back and forth with me on this stuff, and that just came up. So I'm not gonna get sidetracked, but man, yeah, give me 2 seconds, because it's like I'm trying to do what I'm so like. I'm not even gonna respond. And I want to respond smart aleckness, and like God is like, Angelica, please, because it's like, okay, y'all, back to the point. See, I can get distracted. You see, God is still working on me. I never said I was open. Never said I'm not finished. You ain't through with me yet. I'm messing around. Anyway, your brokenness. You're not broken, first off. Let's clear the air. You're not broken. You may think you're broken. You may think that, you are incomplete or, things like that. But as soon as God comes into your life, it's whole. You're whole again. Like a lot of things, like, say for myself, not having a dad in my life, I felt like a part of me was broken. A part of me, was missing something. A part of me, need this validation from, males, or just, a male figure in general. It could be a boyfriend, a teacher, any type of thing where you're constantly seeking this validation. And when you don't get it, you feel like it's me. And it's like, no, it's not you. Unfortunately, that's the circumstances I had to, grow up in, but it wasn't me. And I had to kind of go through that self aspect of, Angelica, it's not you. And I hope I'm making sense here, because I feel like I'm not, but I think that lady threw me off. And God's like, Angelica, please. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna get back to the point. All right. Holy Spirit, speak, please. Back to the point, Angelica. Please stay on track, because I'm really about to end this and not post. Anyway, yeah. That was one thing that affected me. Another thing was when you feel like you're not whole, or you feel like you need people around you, or you need this and you need that, you sometimes can't be alone. And in this season in my life right now, God was really trying to teach me how to be alone. And I'm like, God, I don't want to be alone. Like, what do you mean be alone? Like, now is not the time for me to be alone. I need to be surrounded by people. I'm trying to be accountable. I'm trying to do things the right way. And God is like, I don't want you dependent on nobody but me. And again, I couldn't see it. And I was just like, no, I'm not dependent on nobody else, God. I'm dependent on myself. Like, kind of messes that. And God's like, no, you did your own strength. You see where you're going. And so God had to constantly do a work on me where it's like, Angelica, you are broken. Like, I was in denial. I didn't even think I was broken. And then not even saying like broken in a way where, I'm needing to be fixed. It was, I didn't see the need. I didn't see where I needed to work things on myself, especially when the obvious things I cleaned up. Like, I cleaned up the obvious things to people that you would see, like, oh, you don't do this no more. Oh, okay, that's obvious. But I didn't clean up the pride in my life. I didn't clean up, again, the need for validation, the need that rejection, that abandonment, those things I didn't clean up in my heart. And so it started to fester. And so it would be like, things would happen. And I'm like, oh, why that? Like, and it would cause me to be way more hurt than I should have been. And it was because I did not address those initial issues that I should have addressed when God was calling me to a period of isolation, if that makes sense. And so I'm saying this to say is, if you know that you are not whole right now, and you like, again, I'm not saying that you are a broken person or anything like that, but you know in your heart that you feel like, hey, I'm not really feeling right. I know that, and especially, again, you're a believer and you know God and things like that. Again, I'm talking to, I would love to talk to people that, are not, but it's only that one choice. You only got one choice, you already know what you can do. All you got to do is just, accept in your heart and believe that Jesus died on the cross for you. And then you're my brother and sister in Christ. And, we're on the same page. And then I can talk you from there, because you won't really understand what I'm saying until you're at that aspect. So that's what I mean. It's like, it's not it's a cool kids club and, you're not a part of it. No, nobody's saying that. All I'm saying is until you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Christ and Savior, certain things about the conversation about religion and different things you wouldn't even understand, because your spiritual eyes are not even open. So we're not gonna go there, okay? But whenever you're ready to have that conversation, come on down. Look, come on, a winning team. It's already it's already defeated, so you better get on. I need to stop playing because I get sidetracked. But anyway, back to the point. What was I talking about? And I need to start writing notes down because I'd be all over the place. But yeah, so when God is kind of calling you to that isolation period, please listen. Please go ahead and take that time out. And as well, sometimes during that isolation period, God is going to reveal things to you that you don't want to admit, you don't want to probably do. Like a lot of the things, like during my isolation period where I thought I was isolating myself when I really wasn't. So this is what I would do, y'all. I would isolate myself in the beginning of the day so I can get some work done and do work. But then towards, I would say 11, 12, I'll start getting on the phone. Then I'll get on the phone, and I won't be working from like 11 to 1. And then during school time, sometimes if my daughter, I got to go pick her up. Then I wouldn't, so And then by the time I get back home, I ain't spent no time with God. Because I worked from when I got up until I got on the phone with somebody talking about or gossiping or just doing, again, not doing what I was supposed to do. And God was like, Angelica, you wasted so much time. And I was like, well, God, I want to talk to these people. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it's just like, you waste so much time worried about other people and putting other people before yourself. And I really, really want to encourage someone where it's like, if God is calling you to just take some time to yourself, take some time and just like not talk to nobody. Again, you're not being mean or anything like that, but just take some time and just give it a second, and you just, calming down all the chaos in your mind. You're just looking at everything that's going on. You're taking everything in and really seeing where your life is at right now. That can do a whole lot. I didn't even do that. I didn't even calm down and first off acknowledge where God blessed me at. Then acknowledge where God was taking me at. And then acknowledge where I was currently at. And because I was just kept going. And again, I had, obligations that I, did. But it's like some of those obligations, Angelica, did you have to do those? Did you have to sign up for this? Did you have to go do that? And so sometimes we tend to distract ourselves with the worldly things. And again, it's not a bad thing, but sometimes we'll do that just so we don't have those self-reflection moments. Because why do I want to really address my pride in my heart? Why do I want to sit down there and address that? Why do I want to address the rejection in my heart? I don't want to talk about that. Being honest. I don't talk about that. It's none of your business. And God's like, who are you talking to? Who do you think you are? I'm like, sorry, God, my bad. So sorry. First off, you're right. I'm no one. My righteousness is filthy rags, God. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, God. Look. Look, I apologize. I immediately, get my humility flag on, because we'll come to God like that. And it's like, first off, who do you think you are? And God, just so awesome and so patient and so amazing with us, where he allow us to even work out those emotions with him. And he's like, I'm trying to get you at a better space in life. And you over here questioning me, you have a lot of nerve, daughter, son. You got a lot of nerve. And so I hope this is making sense. I feel like I kind of got back on track. But that's kind of where I'm at. And I hope that, again, you don't allow the things that happen in your past that sometimes God allows. God allows those things to happen, and it's not for you. It's for other people. And I had to realize that. I had to realize that isolation period that I kept trying to skip. I'm going through it now, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I had to understand, like, Angelica, God had to allow me to go through this isolation period, because to not go through the isolation period the first time, to teach me, one, you have monitoring spirits around you. That's something I was like, Angelica got discernment. I can keen out a monitoring spirit real fast, but not when that monitoring spirit is somebody you like, not when that monitoring spirit is family or somebody coming in as a close friend. And when I kid you not, you guys, I was so disobedient to God, and I apologize. But a lot of times I'll be on the phone talking to people, and my heart and God will reveal something to me, like dreams or just things that he will reveal to me throughout the day. And I'll say it to people. And when I tell you, y'all, the stuff that the stuff that directly correlates to me, like the things that were supposed to transpire, things that could have transpired within this past year, almost every word that I said that God told me not to tell people, it didn't come to pass. And I tested it out, because a lot of the words that God would give me about myself, I would keep it to myself, because again, I knew it was warfare behind it. So I would just keep it to myself, wouldn't say nothing, and it would come to pass. And I just be like, I said, God's like, Angelica, your big mouth. I said, first I got, you don't gotta do me like that. Like, you you don't have to even say it like that. Like, why'd you have to go so deep? Like, why'd you have to like cut me like that, God? Like, I know I talk a lot, but you ain't have to say it like that. Like, gosh, sir. But when I was like, I can kind of like, God, you know I'm smart, so you know I put one and two together. But no, he had to. God is funny. Like, see, because y'all know how we big the points about him. He like, see. And when I tell you, it was so loud. Like, even with this last promotion that I just received. When I tell you, I didn't tell anybody, nobody. I didn't tell nobody I put the position in. I didn't tell anybody anything because God just told me to move about it in a way where it had to be swift and I had to move at it at a rapid pace. And when I tell you, I was just like, okay. So a lot of the things, again, we're all prophetic. I feel like some of us are, of course, more prophetic than others, where God allows us to see things for other people and to, you know, because that's what God does, because he needs prophets on the earth. But I honestly feel like things that God reveals to you for you, keep it to yourself. Like, and that's sometimes during that isolation period or during, and again, this is what I learned. Something God may reveal something to you, but I be so happy want to share things with people, but everybody's not happy for you. And again, my discernment would be off, because it's like I would turn my discernment off, or turn my discernment on when I'm around strangers, but turn it off when I'm around people I'm familiar with. And that's, your discernment is on all the time. Your prophetic ears are open all the time, because God is revealing things to you all the time. And we like to turn it off when it's around people we like. And I'm not saying, you know, people that are around you are, you know, have malicious intent, but you have to be mindful of the people that you guys have around you, especially for those that know that God is calling you to something greater. You have to isolate yourself sometimes. You have to go through periods of times where God is gonna prune you, refine you, and be open to that. Don't allow your need for validation, your need to be around people, your need to have friends, and to be liked, and just different things. Like, no, like, I'm okay with being by myself. Like, no. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of the times why I was like, I wouldn't say the party friend, but people only invited me because I was a good time. Like, they would be bored when they worked there. I'm just messing around. But for real, like, I wasn't that friend where y'all called me when y'all really needed something. So that showed me there, y'all didn't take me seriously. So it's like, but again, when I'm going through it, I'm on and out, who can I call? And I'm not saying that, but when I tell y'all God has been here all the time, he has been. Because I do have to do a better job of being vulnerable with people, God told me. But again, that's something I have to work on, because I have been hurt, like, constantly. I've asked God to help me with being more vulnerable sometimes, because again, I be vulnerable. Like I said, I literally was just vulnerable last year. And I got turned everywhere but loose. Everywhere but which loose. I don't know how to say the saying. And granted, it was my fault, because some stuff, you know, I should have kept to myself. But like, I had a lot of people around me where it was just like monitoring spirits, like just leeching on. It's just like, my gosh. And I just wish my eyes was open back then. And you know, you live and you learn. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, do that now. But it's just being, just, I don't know. I asked God to help me forgive myself on that, because again, I was like, God, I was open. He was like, Angelica, first of all, you disobedient. And nobody told you to be that open. I'm like, like, I'm telling you, God. Y'all can't tell me that man ain't got no sense of humor. But anyway, hope this helps someone. Again, if God has called you to do something, be swift in obedience. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Be swift with it, because when God tells you to do something, the power of God that's behind it, oh my gosh, he needs you to move when he say move. Basically put it like that. And when you do, I'm telling you, my boss, again, this lady was bothering me at my job, y'all. My boss told me to reach out to my old manager. God, you want me to go beg? You want me to go beg? Okay, I'll go beg. Go reach out to your old manager. I reached out to my old manager. Hey, what's going on? Hey, big head. Reached out. They had a position waiting on me. I didn't even have to interview. God said move, move. Be obedient. Be obedient. Swift obedience. All right? As always, you guys, it's been real. Bye.